It's May 27th, and the strange side of history awaits. Today, we have a fire that still burns beneath the town, explorers rising to the edge of space, an ancient treasure discovered in mystery and deception. Let's begin. On May 27th, 1962, in the quiet town of Centralia, Pennsylvania, workers lit what seemed like an ordinary trash fire. It was supposed to be simple, a landfill and a small cleanup before Memorial Day. But beneath the garbage, the earth was waiting. The flames slipped through the unseen openings, reached the exposed coal seam buried beneath the town. At first look, people thought the fire was out. The smoke faded and life went on. Families slept in their home and children walked on the streets, and no one understood that below their feet, Centralia began to burn. The fire moved silently through the old mine tunnels, feeding on coal and hidden pockets of air. Crews poured water, ash, and money. They drilled holes, dug trenches, searched for the edge of the blaze, but the fire kept spreading. Then the town itself began to change. Poisonous gases began to seep into basements. Roads cracked, steam rose from the ground, and sinkholes opened without warning. By 1983, the government began buying out the homes. One by one, buildings vanished, families left. Today, Centralia is almost gone. Its zip code was erased, the roads remain closed, and only a handful of residents remain above the fire experts believe could burn for centuries. The town did not disappear overnight, but it was slowly taken away by the fire underneath. On May 27, 1931, two men climbed aboard a metal sphere beneath a giant hydrogen balloon and rose towards a place no human had ever been. Swiss physicist Auguste Piccard and his assistant Paul Kepler were not chasing fame alone. They wanted to study the cosmic rays from above the thick blanket of Earth's lower atmosphere, but to get there, they had to survive a world almost no one understood. Their gondola was about 2 meters wide, a steel aluminum ball built to protect them from freezing temperatures and crushingly thin air. One side was painted black to absorb heat, the other was painted white to reflect it. Then, from Augsburg, Germany, the balloon lifted off. Higher and higher it climbed until the towns below vanished into silence. Air pressure dropped and cold intensified. Inside the tiny sphere, they became the first humans to enter the stratosphere. For the first time, they saw the curve of the Earth, but then something went wrong. A gas valve struck, trapping them high above the world for hours. No one on the ground knew if they were alive or already lost to the sky. Only once, when the setting sun cooled the hydrogen balloon, did it begin to finally fall. After nearly 17 hours, the sphere came down into the glacier town, and with that they returned with a glimpse of the Earth no human had ever seen before. On May 27, 1873, beneath the dusty ruins of the Hisarlik in modern-day Turkey, Heinrich Schliemann claimed he had found the lost treasure of Troy. To him, it was proof that Homer's ancient world had been real. Gold, silver, ornaments, vessels, and glittering jewelry all emerged from the earth. As he announced, he had uncovered the treasure of King Priam himself, the legendary ruler from the Iliad. But almost as soon as the treasure appeared, the story began to crack. He had been digging with more obsession than caution. Convinced the legend of Troy must be buried in the lowest levels, he tore through the mound with brutal methods, destroying layers of history in his rush to reach glory. The treasure itself held a darker truth. It was not from the time of the Trojan War at all. Modern dating showed the artifacts were more than 1,000 years too old. He had found something ancient, but not what he had claimed to be. Then came the scandal. He smuggled the treasure out of the Ottoman Empire, staging dramatic photos of his wife wearing ancient jewelry, and filled his discovery story with details historians later would question or reject. The treasure of Priam was not a single perfect discovery. It may have been assembled from multiple finds. Today, much of it sits far from Troy in Moscow's Pushkin Museum. The treasure that made him famous was wrapped in exaggeration, destruction, and lies glittering like gold. Another day, another strange bite from history. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your next eerie dose is just a day away.